Postcard from Alaska. The clouds above Barrow swell. Blackbirds squat among telephone wires like stoics, and I have forgotten the procedure of prayer. My hands still my hands, the shape they make, so my mouth warms them. Interchangeable to the scene where I hold a half-dead gull, oil already corroding its nerves, parts of its skull no longer light up. People, too, contain a dangerous spill inside them, a transmitter out of date, whole spheres submerged in serotonin. If I can believe in electricity, I can believe the dead still live somewhere. A zip code to a dim, immutable breathing. A voice calling out, "This is not the body you long for." Even the crows who stalk power lines have flown from someplace else. So the book is literally in Alaska. It's an extended metaphor, as Sarah said, elegy. This next one is called Beyond the Field. I stood in the center while the blizzard went on and on. A snowshoe hair curled near a perimeter of pine, like a closed white hand, and I knew that soon this snow would erase me. Impermanence is the first way of knowing the world. The second, a love of it regardless. Beyond the field, there are hills, though it was too dark to see. There is a pond where a tern tests the quickness of water's weight to anchor him. The dead press the old light of their fingers along the land tract of our skin. They tell us it is terrible, the way we brighten as we move on. And the third poem, it's the last poem I read. It's a narrative poem. It's a little bit, it's not so long, but it's new. It's not in anything forthcoming. Thank you for listening. Please donate to the scholarship fund. Very important. This is called Reading Virginia Woolf in a Women in Literature class at Bergen County Community College. I know it's October because I wear shoes without socks. The air is good to me, and I sweat less through my shirts. Entire days of trees on campus, of stray geese crowding the traffic circle like groupies, as if the honking cars were a rock band. It's October, and Keith, my high school crush, waves from the back of the classroom. I have no idea why he's here, the radiator hissing at his back, except the cliche of boys who always return from where they've left. Like Odysseus, but less plagued by spring at the sea. The misunderstanding of his nature, but I never asked him. And now something inside me shifts off balance, even though my stomach's been twisted for hours, but I'm too hopped up on coffee and Midol that I have no point of view. And the afternoon becomes a mood, tilting towards Keith, like shifting weight from one foot to the other. He is obnoxiously here, and he fucked my older sister. I am just now remembering, though this was a few years ago and long after the day I tagged along to go apple picking, dirt from the groves still in my nails late at night when my sister asked if I'd ever kissed anyone. I was just beginning freshman year, working to get my time down for swim team, where I'd spent summer ditching birthdays and the ice cream truck's persuasive tune to practice the butterfly and freestyle and learning to dive less crooked, which was going as well as expected until Andrew sat next to me on the bus ride home from the pool during tryouts, his chlorine dried hand on my shoulder, a little too long without asking when he asked my name. "And he has a crush on you," said my friend Becca while faking a gagging sound in her throat. I said yes, even though I hadn't kissed anyone. And maybe this was my first true poem, lying to my sister in support of love, stealing imagery from the books I'd read in the library to avoid the cafeteria. A girl at camp gets fingered in a lake. A girl goes missing and is happy being gone. A little grateful. Even before Shakespeare and Lavinia, Ovid and Philomela, I believed dead girls lived eternally as trees, and on bad weather nights, their leaves flew into the gutters, choking the rain pipes. Fishing boats against the moon, wrote Woolf on grief. Giant artichokes towered among the roses. The world can be the saddest fish tank. In the orchard, my sister throws an apple at me, then flirts with Keith. In class, his arm means nothing as I study admiration, glancing at the girl 3 desks ahead. I had seen her at parties, the kind where all the boys wear v-necks with tight jeans and play music in bands, smoke weed in the kitchen, controlling the music, yelling lyrics into a kind of oblivion, spilling beer on whoever they've grabbed to dance, while I watch her from my spot against the fridge as she lights a cigarette. She is effortlessly cool in her black tuxedo vest, taking a break from university, but keeping up on credits. She gets invited to the Stone Pony in Asbury Park on weeknights to listen to the boys play their out-of-tune guitars, and she already read The Bell Jar. She tells our professor, who adjusts the volume for the projector. And I'm writing in my notebook, read The Bell Jar. We have just finished a unit on poetry and are moving on to prose. The professor shuts the lights, and a woman stands dead center on a spotlit stage without an audience, because it would have been impossible, she says, for a woman to have written the plays of Shakespeare in the age Shakespeare had written. I write this down in my notebook because Judith could not. And the girl from the party, who has already read The Bell Jar, is staring out the window while Keith rests his head in the warmth of his palm. And Andrew rides the bus to the swim meet where I didn't make the cut. And Becca has just found out I had sex before her, and she's calling me a slut. And my sister sinks her teeth into the apple while the geese applaud from the lawn. And 6 days before Woolf marries, she finishes this novel. And in October, she will read this over and decide whether it is to go straight into hell. Thank you.